Okay, so here we are with Bob. He's the owner of the boat. And I just wanted to ask Bob, about the design of this boat and why he set it up the way he did and had the designers build the first Kinetic with the forward center helm and the dropping dagger center boards and everything else you've got set up on this boat. So I know it's a big question. Why don't you give us your overall design sort of concept or approach?
Okay, well, the original attraction for these boats was to have a fast passage maker, be able to do long distance voyaging, choose your weather window, stay in it. To me, it's more fun, gives you more options on where you go, and in some ways safer because you can literally choose your weather, and if you run out of wind, just motor at 9 or 10 comfortably. So that was the initial attraction, and then obviously there is a bit of a racing angle, but really the boat's a fast offshore passage maker set up for short-handed sailing that you race occasionally with all the comforts. And really that's what carbon provides, enables you to have a powerful sail plan and achieve the best of both worlds. So that's how I got into it, and that was the attraction. And then of course, once we got involved with Simona's Hood, we learned about the forward helm station. We have the mast on a compression post here. It enables us to have a much bigger salon with 360-degree views. A forward cockpit that's forward of the mast that can also be a leisure zone as well as for sailing. And I think it really makes a good advantage of the space. So that was all I learned since I got involved with our designers. And we really appreciate obviously what we've ended up with, and I think it's a great product, as you see.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're almost doing 9 knots. It's very comfortable.
It's effortless.
Yeah, we're not shouting.
I need to drop the trailer. Oh, the traveller. Oh, I just did.
Oh, there you go. And that's what it's all about.
Bit of main sheet trim. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, and then you didn't even ask me to run up to the coach room.
No, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, part of our philosophy is, try and take the brain surgery out of the hard parts, which are shortening sail, docking and anchoring. And if you do that, you make your boat so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, well, it certainly has been enjoyable. These last, actually it's almost 8 days now, maybe 9, sailing with you in this boat, and I got to tell you, we're very excited about getting our own, right, sweetie? Yeah.
Well, hopefully it gave you a good taste, showed you what not to do and occasionally what to do.
That's right, that's right. No, well, we'll take the bloopers out of there.
Yeah, no, that's all right. No, to be honest, we've had a skipper most of the time, and so I'm doing a lot more sailing myself now than I ever have on the boat, so I'm still learning the ropes myself, literally. But anyway, no, we're very happy. Obviously, having a great time here in Fiji. It's just a wonderland. And
it is.
It amazes me for how beautiful it is. How few boats are there.
I know it's the perfect cruising and test grounds as far as I can see.
And the fishing ain't bad either.
Yeah, the fishing's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Bob. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents for it.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. That's great having a commentary. Love the boat.
Yeah. Thanks.
Welcome to Second Wind Adventures, where we start the next chapter in our life, where retirement can be fun, exciting, and challenging.
Follow along with us as we continue to transition from our regular full-time work life to a more flexible lifestyle that includes cottage living, adventure travel, and our dream to circumnavigate the globe on a sailing catamaran.
This is us, Alina and Monty. We would love if you joined us so that we can share with you the trials of achieving our goals. Hi folks, and welcome back to Second Wind Adventures. In this last of 3 episodes in Fiji, we wanted to spend some time to give you an up-close tour of Kinetic 6201, where we spent 10 days on as guests of Bob and Cheryl.
After going over our build of 5405 in previous videos, we wanted to show you how the design of the Kinetic boats have evolved from this boat, which was the original template used to develop the 54-foot series. She's now 4 years old, but you can see the familiar design elements which make the Kinetic brand, and this design has made it to the first 3 hulls of the 54s, which have now splashed.
After 10 days living aboard this yacht, We also got some ideas which we have now taken into the design of our in-process build. Also, having had hands-on sailing and living aboard coastal cruising in all types of conditions, have also reaffirmed our choices and our selection of Kinetic as our dream boat.
So stay tuned, and please don't forget to make any comments or ask questions, as we love to hear your feedback.
Okay, so let's take a look at the Kinetic. This is the starboard side. This is the aft. This is where the captain resides. That's a nice, spacious stateroom. Very nice.
Yeah. Lots of windows.
Lots of windows.
Lots of ventilation. Very tall. Where just above your head there too. So.
And closet here.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Lots of storage, both in the floor, drawers. This is the first head on the
first head.
starboard side, day head. So the combination shower, sink,
Yep.
and look at that carbon toilet on the side too. Okay,
Very
go past
nice.
me?
Yeah. So let's take a look here. Closet space here. And this is the other stateroom. This is where we're gonna be staying. This is our place.
Lots of hatches,
Yeah.
lots of light as well.
Very nice.
Lots of storage under the bed. And of course, this bed goes over the bridge deck, and you can actually just see one of the winches for the working cockpit, just through the hatch there. I'm sure if it's coming out in the video, but yeah, that's nice and spacious.
And it's gonna be interesting to see how I fare, because I'm a tad claustrophobic, so this to me feels a little tight and confined, so we'll see how I do. So anyway, I think it's gonna be okay.
I'm gonna put you under hypnosis or something.
All right. So this is the bathroom here, the forward bathroom. The shower there. You wanna take a look? Carbon toilet.
Let me just get. So yeah, the finish is. It looks like this is looks like a bamboo as well, or maybe a maple. Anyway, there's a full shower there.
Yeah.
Seat. Lots of space. See, just like at the show when we saw 5401, see all the walls here are faired and painted, very smooth, you know, nicely finished. Fiddles along the side now. See, I remember what these are called. Yeah, so this is the starboard side.
Although I have to say I tripped here. I stepped my toe
Carbon
here
steps.
on this stuff here.
Oh yeah. It's gotta be careful.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the starboard side. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the, I guess the electrical room. Some switches down here, some lithium ion batteries. Looks like there are 1, 2, 3, there's 6 here. And there are a lot of the Victron inverters and a lot of other electronics. So this is just on the starboard side behind the forward cabin. Cool.
Sorry, it's a little bit rolly, so I have to hang on tight. So this is the other side. So this is the port side. This is the owner's side. So let's go first in the main bedroom.
Storage here.
So same kind of
Elevated bed over the bridge deck. Hers and hers.
bathroom.
Vanity sinks. Nice big shower. Very nice. Okay, we're underway, so it's a little bit rocking and rolling. We're just about to go through the pass and the cut and the reef. So it's another day head. Yeah, day head. And here's the very nicely appointed convertible office bedroom.
This is very nice. And I think on this particular boat, they don't have the option to convert the little.
Oh, it says okay. It doesn't pull up.
So this is just a little sitting area. It does not convert into a bed.
Okay, but in our boat, what we'll have is a fold-up desk.
Yes.
The desk will fold up, and the sofa will pull outwards into a twin.
I think this is really smart.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, we get those loads back out, eh? Yep.
And can you get a closer in the galley there where the location?
Okay, here we are in the galley, and Alina's testing out making breakfast on the full electric induction galley. So,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I think it's great. Yeah, we also have an induction cooktop, so this is pretty familiar to me. And yeah, it works great. It's great. I do appreciate the large, spacious galley.
U-shaped galley, yeah, just like the one we've
It's
selected.
Really, see how nice this is? You can, brace yourself. It's very, it's really comfortable. It's comfortable cooking. Yeah.
Lots of
very
storage.
nice.
So we have a
Storage, yeah.
fridge freezer on this side, and then there's another deep freezer locker on the just top down on the counter. And how many burners on this
I
induction?
think there are four.
There are four.
4 burners.
Yeah. And this is a combination microwave oven, convection oven.
Yep.
So yeah, everything looks good. And what a backdrop. Not too shabby making breakfast, looking at this, looking at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cheers everyone.
Drinking a beer. Sorry.
We're sitting here in, I don't know where, some island in the Asawas, in the Fiji island group, just northwest of the main island of Fiji. We've been sailing for about 4 days now, so it's been great. So this Kinetic 62 has been our home for the last couple of days, and just want to quickly talk to you about the back half of the boat. We've been going through different parts of the boat and showing you different things, but I also want to spend a little bit of time talking about the way the 62 is different from the boat we're getting, because this was the original boat, and everything that evolved from that point, including new ideas, improvements, and so forth, were based on this original hull. So it's really good to be on this boat. It is a bigger boat than the boat we're getting, so the dimensions are considerably larger, and there is just so much space on this boat that it makes cruising and living on the water so much more pleasant. If you look at this cockpit itself, there's enough room to have 3 people doing jumping jacks and yoga and calisthenics right in the back space without moving any furniture or taking any tables away. So it's great. It's a great living space. We have an electric grill that we've been using to make dinner over here on the port side, and on the starboard side beside me we have a cooler for drinks and of course lots of beer, and a cutting board that sits on top of that if you want to use it for cleaning fish or chopping vegetables or preparing any food. There's also a helm control that's actually underneath the cover on the starboard side where I'm sitting here. And by the way, this whole lounging area is also different from the 54 because there's a cutaway in the 54 and also a fold down swim platform that bridges the gap between the two sugar scoops in the back. So this boat doesn't have that, but it is got a great sitting area here. We've also got the same rod holders for the fishing rods. There's 2 on the port side, 2 on the starboard side. We actually caught a fish the other day, a Spanish mackerel, which was very exciting. And we've been taking the OC tender out in the background there. You can see it floating away, and it's been an impressive little boat. We took it for a bit of a fishing trip this morning, and basically went out to the 2 heads that you see in the background there, using it as a trolling boat. Unfortunately, we didn't catch anything like we did the other day, but it's certainly been a great place to test the boat out. We headed out into the channel over there. It's fairly choppy. The tender performed great, actually. It rides on top of the waves in the chop, so although I got splashed once or twice, it certainly wasn't like getting soaked in the high field going at the same trolling speed, because what happens is this sits higher and rides higher in the chop, while the high field tends to plow and have the the inflatable sides block the water, and then the water sprays over the top, causing you to get considerably more wet. It's also a very light boat. Got a 15 horsepower motor on it, and it just gets up onto the plane even with 2 large people. It performs very well. I was very surprised how quickly we got the boat up and going. The other thing is the 2 davits that are back here are fixed, unlike the fold over ones that are going to be on the 54 on our build. And also we have the solar arch, which is going to be an addition on the back, where we're also going to be able to place boards for storage when we're underway. My understanding is our boat is the only one that actually has the additional solar. We're also, I believe, the only boat that's going to have the generator delete as well. So just goes to show you that the amount of customization that can happen with the builder like Kinetic, and some of the options that you can change to make the boat yourself. On this particular boat back in the helm here, you'll notice that there aren't separate helm wheels in the port and starboard sides. Instead, there are controls, push-button controls on both port and starboard. And instead of having a wheel, there's actually a tiller that attaches into the rudder that allows you to steer the boat from the rear positions. But you saw from the videos that we were doing most of our steering from the forward center helm, which has been great. Haven't been getting exposed to sun. It's been a very pleasant experience up there. You open the front doors on both sides and you get lots of breeze. And even though we're basically slamming through 28 knots of wind yesterday, going upwind on a close reach, doing over 12 knots, I think Alina only got sprayed because she's sitting up in the forward cockpit. She only got sprayed a little bit once, and so
tiny bit.
To those that think that you're going to be in a position where you're going to have constant water coming over the bridge deck, over the bows, and getting wet,
No,
not going to
didn't
happen.
happen.
Didn't happen. And there are some pretty strong wind conditions, choppy waves, and so forth that we're slamming through, as you can see from the videos. Okay. So other than that, some other small differences I just want to point out. The floor on this one is an artificial flexi teak. We'll have real maple on our boat, and yeah, it looks like it's been wearing fairly well. This boat being 4 years old now, and obviously an option we could get. This also has a swim ladder, which is fold away instead of having one that's integrated into the outrigger scoop. And by the way, because we actually caught a fish, we actually used the live bait well to store the Spanish mackerel that we caught. We put it in there just to keep it alive and keep it fresh until we got to a point where we could anchor and clean fish.
And what happened this morning when you guys went fishing?
We got Zippo. But that's okay. Like I said, we're just testing the OC tender and going for a little bit of a cruise. So it's been a great boat so far, and I will show you more in the next scene. Okay, we're on top of the coach roof right now with Glenn. He's doing a little work folding up the rest of the sail. So you're gonna tie the excess down? Oh, okay, I see. All right. This is a carbon furling boom, as you can see here. The carbon mast. What's that? Oh yeah. That's the track for the self-tacking jib. Yoo-hoo! Curved traveler. Hey folks, okay, so we've been sailing all day. We've now got the A2 deployed, and we originally started off with the J0 Genoa, and we're doing a reach, and then turn around, and now we're going downwind. We did a couple of jibes with A2, actually two of them, by furling it in. And so you see on one of the winches, so working winches in the front, which is a Harkin 80 3-speed winch. We've got the furling line set up in a continuous loop to the front bowsprit furler, and that has the A2 asymmetrical spinnaker on it. And on the starboard side winch, we have another Harkin 80, and that is being used to take in the sheet for the A2 on the starboard side. So one of the interesting things about this working cockpit is that you see there's quite a lack of jammers or clutches that are usually there in most charter boats for clamping down and securing the lines. But in this case, what we actually have are what's called constrictors, and they act. Here is an example of a release for a constrictor for the forward tack lines that go to the head sails. So simply by pulling this, relieving the pressure by taking this line in first using one of the winches, the winch that's behind Alina, who's filming right now, and pulling on this, it actually pulls back a sleeve that's holding the pressure of this line, and what you do when you pull it back, it allows it to run free, and then you just basically cleat this this release, and it'll keep the constrictor off the line. It'll run freely, and then when you take it off the constrictor, once again grip the line and stop it. So if you have a look around the back here, here's the Harkin 70 winch that's in the pit, and we have the main halyards here, as well as some of the other. Here's a topping lift, and here's another jib halyard. So as you can see, the only clutch that exists is this jammer here, and that's for the main halyard. that's currently engaged. Otherwise, it's fairly clean. We have more halyards and also sheets that are coming down off the coach roof here. Up there we have the self-tacking jib, and that runs on its own track, and we're not using that today. So very clean setup, a little bit different from most helm stations, but we like this.
Hey, Mike.
Hey guys.
Hey, so we're here on our last day, and we just wanted to cover off some items after being on this boat for 9 days now, and some of the thoughts we had of this trip and our experiences on this original Kinetic 6201.
Yeah, and if I can start, one of the things that really surprised me is how comfortable the beds were in the stateroom. And not only that, I didn't feel claustrophobic at all. You probably recall that our stateroom had that elevated bed, and this was the first time that I slept on a bed that's, you know, that close to the ceiling. And I thought, oh my goodness, you know, am I gonna be able to sleep? Am I gonna feel really claustrophobic? The first night I did keep the lights on, I think in the bathroom, just to be on the safe side, but then I turned them off. And I was so surprised that I didn't feel claustrophobic. It was very comfortable, ventilation was great, it was cool at night. Of course it helps because it's winter here in Fiji, so the temperature is not that hot, but that was one thing that really surprised me. So for anyone else that's concerned about, you know, sleeping arrangements and having that elevated bed, it worked for me, so hopefully that works for you as well. The other thing which again impressed me quite a bit is how comfortable working in the galley was, and also the appliances. They have induction cooktop, and then the oven had that convection feature. Especially the oven, it got to the temperature that you wanted really fast, and we cooked you know, a chicken, you know, leg within like 40 minutes, so everything was really fast. The induction cooktop worked really well. So again, working in the galley, using the appliances was actually really pleasant. I really enjoyed working in the galley, and I did quite a bit of cooking. I just wanted to get a feel of, you know, experiencing, you know, cooking on a catamaran. And again, I was really pleasantly surprised. So those are the two things that come to mind now. I'll think about more as Monty is talking.
Yeah, so, you know, some of the points that I wanted to bring up after the experience on this boat is firstly, you know, we have had all kinds of conditions, and we had very rough, choppy seas on our first night, you know, with gusty 30 plus knot winds.
That was the very first day,
yeah,
I think.
and you know, the sea state was very confused. We had current, we had wind going in the wrong direction of the current, and that produced very choppy conditions. And I think we've shown you on the video that, you know, it was really rocking and rolling. But the biggest point I want to make here is that with the forward center helm inside the salon, we're totally protected. I mean, we were standing there, we felt safe, we weren't exposed. Even though we were motor sailing, you know, we only had to go out once or twice. We got a little bit wet, but you know what? It was the best vantage point, both during rough water and also during really sunny conditions, where we wanted to stay out of the sun and not get baked. And because of the forward center cockpit and the doors in the front into the working cockpit, we were able to avoid going around the outside of the salon on top of the hulls. And so from a safety factor, that was very important for us, because we just go through the center of the boat, as we pointed out in our videos all along. And that kind of reaffirmed our choice to have that additional safety factor. you know, managing a lot of the lines from the cockpit. You know, we were able to work from there, even putting up the A2 spinnaker as well as the J0 reacher. And you know, we felt safer being on top of the trampoline, not going around the outside too often. And a lot of the lines are brought right back to the forward center cockpit. So yeah, I think from a safety factor, it's been great. The only other thing, you know, it's kind of funny after chartering for so long. This boat is actually so different in the way it's been set up, the way there are so few jammers or you know, clutches for the lines that you know, we had to get a little bit used to, you know, the orientation with the 3 winches right in the cockpit there in the front, and also the use of the constrictors, which are really neat technology. I think it really cleans things up and, you know, organizes the lines fairly well. But you know, there was a little bit of a learning curve, of course, learning where all these different lines come into in the cockpit. But the key element here is that even though we've got 3 helms on this boat as well, just like ours, the main sheets, the main lines, halyards, they all go to the forward center cockpit, and you can manage all the lines from there. And by the way, you know, you're working in the forward center cockpit. Okay, you might get the occasional spray, but we've been in bad enough weather here, including rain, that it's not a big issue. Like comparing that to what we've been through on the bulkhead helms, I mean, it's just we feel more comfortable working with lines, bigger sails, and controls that are in the forward cockpit. So for us, I mean, that just reaffirmed our selection to have that in this kind of boat.
And the first day when you were saying that it was so choppy, yes, it was choppy. Yes, we have images of, you know, the waves just breaking, you know, and then splashing, you know, in the front there. But I never felt unsafe. The boat felt really, really solid. Remember, we heard that there was another boat, and some of the people that were on the boat, they felt so unsafe they had to turn around. I never felt unsafe on this boat. So again, a plus for Kinetic. And the other thing, which I don't know, maybe it was just us, that we never had an opportunity whenever we charter boats in the past to fish off the back of the boat. This was such a cool experience.
It is such a good fishing platform having a catamaran.
Yes.
You know, the lines are separated, port and starboard.
It was great.
Yeah.
And then having that place to put your fish, what's that called?
The bait well, fish wells, I guess catch wells.
In both of the sugar scoops. That was really cool.
Yeah.
And being able to eat fresh fish. This was the first time actually that we're able to fish. Again, that was a plus.
Yeah.
I know it's not related to Kinetic, you can do that off any boat, but we've never had an opportunity to fish, so I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
we strongly recommend that.
Yeah, we actually caught quite a few, you know, 2 Spanish mackerels, 1 GT. We lost 2, we don't know what they were.
Yeah,
but
we had the tuna, unfortunately it was only a skippy,
skipjack,
but it was still okay. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, we hope you continue watching our series. We're definitely looking forward to our next charter in Sardinia. And we're going to be on a completely different boat again. And so we'll talk to you guys a little bit about what our experiences are on a Galley 4.2 with 8 people.
It's going to be tight.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit